Over something like that. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Woo, it's been a rough morning already on the way to the gym. It's just been traffic, but I am here today. Anyway, today I'll be talking about overcoming limited beliefs and steps to release mental shackles. Welcome to Mondays with Coach Rice, where we dive into the topics that matter the most, your mental health and well-being. I am your host, Coach Rice, your professional certified life and health coach and trained mental health counselor. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a great morning. It's beautiful outside, and I just want to praise the Lord. I made it here safe and throughout all the traffic and the accidents that I had to ride through, but I thank God I made it here safe. So today we'll talk about the limited beliefs and how they can hold people back. When you think about limiting beliefs, what are they? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about where they come from and the steps that we need to take to overcome these beliefs. This topic is important to me. I'm going to tell you why. God gave me a vision about moving my business to the next level. I started noticing this internal feedback I was getting from myself that I knew wouldn't serve me in this season of my life and on the mission that He has me on. I knew that I had to deal with it because it was trying to come against my faith. Belief is bigger than I ever imagined, our beliefs. That's why I believe that the Lord, when He said we must believe in Him, that's powerful because beliefs take us where we need to go. If it's really you agree upon something that's true. That's what a belief is. And when we believe in it, we touch and agree, and it's power in agreement. So that's why I want to talk about this, because when he gave me the vision, and it's important that I believe what He gave me for me. And so I had to, when I felt this internal feedback, I had to deal with it. God was showing me my limiting belief that I needed to get to the root cause of. And so, as you know, my relationship with the Lord, He always teach me how to deal with things. And when He teach me, I come on podcasts and talk to you guys about it, because my life is a journey and I know yours too. So let's talk about what are limiting beliefs. You might want to get a pad out for this episode, because I kid you not, it blessed me. It blessed my heart so much to talk about it. It's blessing me so much to talk about it because I know what it has done for me. And don't think that just because you get this lesson the first time that you'll never have to deal with a limiting belief again, because they come in different facets. So a limiting belief, when I'm talking about this, by definition, it's a state of mind or belief about yourself that restricts you in some kind of way. That's why I use the word shackles. Negative thoughts or beliefs that constrain us and prevent us from reaching our full potential. That's pretty much what a limiting belief is. These beliefs are often false accusations that we have against ourselves that cause a number of negative results. Remember in one of my podcasts, I talk about thoughts drive behavior, and behavior leads to results and that we receive. And so that's why belief is so important. It's important for us to understand what we believe about something, because that's where our heart that's what our heart follows because we believe it's true. And remember, I said it's power and agreement. Let me give you I want you to sit back and think about what are some of the examples of like limiting beliefs that you may have encountered. I'm going to name some and see if you kind of resonate with it. I'm not good enough is one of them. I don't deserve success. People won't like me if I'm successful. I'll never be as good as others. I don't have the right connections. I'm too afraid of failure. I'm too old to start something new. Anything resonate yet? I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough experience. I'll never be financially stable. It's too late for me to make a difference. I can't trust anyone. I'm not worthy of love. Why do you think I call it mental shackles? As you hear it, can't you see the shackles, the chains that's blocking you from moving forward to your full potential? I use the word mental shackles is a metaphorical term used to describe our psychological barriers and constraints that limits our thinking, actions, and personal growth. These shackles, they're not physical. Don't get me wrong, they're not physical. They represent limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, negative thought patterns that we deal with, much like physical shackles, chains that restrict somebody from movement. That's why I relate it to mental shackles. And I use that term because it makes me, when I think about limiting beliefs, it's so soft, right? But when I think about shackles, it kind of put me in the mind of like, I need freedom. And I honestly, I'm the type of person, freedom is one of my, core values. I gotta have a sense of freedom. And so shackles makes me say, I hate this thing. I need to deal with it, and I don't need to have it in my life. You gotta hate something so bad to get it out of your life. The pain gotta be excruciating sometimes to stop doing the dysfunctional behavior that keeps us in these patterns. For example, if someone has a fear of failure, that fear can't act as mental shackles. What it does, it prevents them from taking risks and pursuing opportunities. So that's going to hold you back at the end of the day, because you're not going to take the risk. You're going to see failure as a negative thing, and it's really not. So I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what do you believe about yourself that may not be true? Number 2, what excuses do you often use or not? What excuses do you often use for not pursuing your goals? I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. And as you ponder on these questions that I talk about, I want you to think about where does these limited beliefs come from? So that's what I'm getting ready to talk to you about, because in order for us to get healed, we have to understand the root cause. And I'm big on that. If you don't understand the root cause, you really will hit the surface, and I don't want you guys hitting the surface like for something that we want to pull out the root, right? So usually limiting beliefs are formed in our childhood, through repeated negative experiences. They influence, it's the influence of like social norms or upbringing or personal experiences or religious beliefs sometimes can hold us in those constraints. If we don't understand what scripture really means, we can be held in contempt. I'm not kidding. Because who the Son sets free is free indeed. Limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained in like assumptions, convictions that we hold about ourselves or others in the world, and it restricts our potential or hinder our progress. I'm gonna give you some why do we develop these beliefs these are serious beliefs, and they start usually sometimes in our early childhood development experiences. Because as children we absorb absorb beliefs from our parents, teachers, other authority figures that we look up to, right? And these figures they may be overly critical or discouraging, or had their own limiting beliefs, and they put it on us, and we adapt to these beliefs as our own. And so when we do, we have to figure out what that belief is. And this usually happened through negative conditioning. I call negative conditioning, which is repeated negative messages during childhood, such as you're not smart enough or you can't do that. And when we internalize this, and it really shapes our perception. So if I believe I can't do it from childhood, when I get to adulthood, those messages are very strong, and they show up in our lives, and they come up against us when we really don't need it. It's really to protect us. That's what we have to understand, that it's in the past, but it's here to say, hey, alert, alert. But our past number one is childhood issues. Number two is past failures and traumas. Sometimes past failures, rejections, trauma events, they can lead to a formation of limiting beliefs because they act as a protective mechanism. For example, after failing at something, you may develop a belief that you're not capable of success, and you avoid it altogether. And especially if you're disappointed in the future, you will continue to keep that frame of mind and keep going. So to protect ourselves from emotional pain, we may create limited beliefs that prevents us from taking risk even at all. I'm a risk taker, so that don't really bother me at all. Matter of fact, I think I need to put some constraints on that. Number three is societal and cultural influences that causes limited beliefs, like when society or culture, when they impose like certain beliefs about what's possible and what's acceptable. It's even like happening even in an election where it's not acceptable. What is a black job? Things of that nature. Is like society try to put these norms, like careers are only suitable for a particular race, leading us as a people to internalize those limited beliefs, and we don't even understand our own potential. And so we want to make sure that we pay attention to media representations and stereotypes that can reinforce those beliefs and keep us in a narrow space where we don't understand what is success. And so we want to pay attention to that's where one of them come from. Number four is fear of the unknown. That can be very detrimental when moving forward. The fear of failing, it can lead people to develop those beliefs like I can't do this or it's too risky, which prevent us from taking that action. Sometimes the fear of changes that success might bring can lead to limited beliefs such as like, I'm not ready for this, or I don't deserve this. I don't know if you ever felt like that. I don't deserve this. I did so much wrong in my life. I don't deserve to be blessed like this. It's interesting because the fear of the unknown is big. When I see fear, it reminds me all the time that I'm missing some information. And so what I have to do is I need to go get that information so that I can remove the fear. Because sometimes you ever notice when you don't feel comfortable when you don't have everything you need to do what you need to do. That's kind of where fear lies, in that area. And so that's really important. Pay attention to that. Number 5 is our comfort zones. We tend to want to stay in a certain comfort zone. Limited beliefs keep us there because we feel safe. insecure, but venturing beyond those comfort zones allow us to be, we're going to be uncomfortable because we have to exercise a muscle we're not normally using, and it's going to cause a shift in our behavior, shift in everything we do, and we want to bring everything back to homeostasis, which is want to keep it at a level, but we have to be able to move into an uncomfortable zone in uncharted waters, I say, so our minds can be creative and get us where we need to go, because it's really a comfort area, an area of comfort. You can't be comfortable and successful at the same time until you reach your goals. So change can be challenging and unsettling, but limited belief serves as a way to resist the change. That's why I felt like some resistance when God gave me this vision. I felt resistance, and I was like, this is not of you. You did not give me the spirit of fear, and you gave me the vision, so you're going to help me walk it through. But we want to maintain this status quo of being comfortable, but that's not how it works. We have to grow, and we have to learn. And in order to do that, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes. So another one is number 6 is confirmation bias. That's a big one and that's very important to know that you dealing with that, because we tend to seek out, when we have this belief, we tend to seek out information that confirms what the belief is, and then we ignore any information that contradicts it. But if we hold a limited belief, we may unconsciously focus on all the evidence that supports that particular thing and disregard anything that challenges. That's what I'm talking about when I say confirmation bias. One of the most important things to pay attention to, because after a negative experience, we may overgeneralize, believing that if we failed once, we may fail again, leading to limited beliefs and not seeing our abilities. It's okay to fall. A just man falls 7 times, but he get up. That scripture don't kind of apply to that, but we do fall. It's okay to fall. It kind of apply and it don't, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, but we do fall, and that's an area to let us know we learn and we grow. It's an opportunity to learn and grow, not to sit and ponder on. Number 7, lack of self-awareness. That's huge. Many limiting beliefs operate at the unconscious level. And so we may not be fully aware. And so they can influence how our behavior and decisions, because we're not realizing that's what's happening. So we really have to have a sense of self-awareness. A lack of self-awareness and confidence can lead us to doubt our abilities and worth, reinforcing those limited beliefs. So we have to really understand what our worth is, so we won't operate in those limiting beliefs. But like I said, they come up, but we got to recognize when they come up. Don't overlook it. Number 8, social comparison is huge. I always say, don't compare yourself to nobody. When we constantly compare ourselves to other people who seem more successful, more attractive, more intelligent, lead to those feelings of inadequacy and foster those beliefs like I'm not good enough. I'll never be as successful as them. If I thought about that, I would not get on a podcast, because I've seen so many people that do it so much, it make it look like it's easy. But I can't worry about them. I have to worry about my development. And as you can see, limits and beliefs, they do form in a way to protect us. So it's really, when we get ready to get into an uncomfortable zone or a muscle we don't use often, our bodies respond, and our unconscious mind respond and say, wait a minute, danger. Do you know what you're doing? But we have to override that and say, wait a minute, it's okay for me to be afraid. It's okay for me to step into the zone in a way that I'm cautious, because the caution don't mean stop. It means to go, but also seek advisors. Also seek out help if you need it. It doesn't mean to shut it down. And so we have to pay attention to that. And so it's just there to protect us from the pain and the fear of failure. But we have to lean into failure because it's not something that is a bad thing. It don't feel good when something don't work out, but it is information that's needed for growth. And so we want to take it as a euphorism for growth. So key steps to release the shackles. I'm gonna give you some steps. I use this word release because it's a sense of freedom when I think about it. So these are the steps that I took. And so I'm gonna hand them over to you. Number one, we have to challenge limited beliefs. First, we gotta identify what the limited belief is. In order to do that, you have to, I would say definitely, if you can have a journal, writing down the thoughts that come up, write down the current limiting belief that you may be dealing with. It helps to bring it to subconscious so we can see, helps us bring subconscious beliefs to the surface so we can kind of see what's happening. And that's what I did. I had to bring, when I felt the internal turbulence, I had to write it down, what's going on, what's happening. And I thank the Lord because he sent people your way to kind of help you go, talk about it, talk through it. And when you could put a name to it, it helps you to navigate it better. Wording is so important. And so that's what I did. You journal, I wrote it down and took it out of my, unconscious to subconscious so I can understand what's really happening. Now you want to gather evidence that disapprove that belief, because I'm telling you, most of the time, 90% is a lie anyway. Is the belief really true? Ask yourself that. And where did that belief come from? Is it still relevant in the present? Because sometimes we're looking at past history and it don't matter in the same place where you are in your life at that time. What would happen? Ask yourself, this is a big question that helped me. What would happen if I didn't believe that anymore? That's where the possibilities are. Because a lot of times we hold on to these beliefs as if we can't change anything. And that puts us in a state of where we stuck. And so after you figure out what the belief is and you understand that where it come from, you find out it's not relevant anymore, and you think about and really picture yourself, what would happen if I didn't believe it anymore? Now you want to reframe that belief. When we reframe something, we want to turn a negative belief into a positive one. And so you write the positive down, even if you ain't there yet, because you're going to get there. And I'm going to show you the second step will get you there. The second step is taking the action to overcome the belief. And so first it's called visualization. Visualization, that's a mental technique that involves us to really sit down in detail, visualize, because you got a vision burning on the inside of you and you're not taking steps in it because you're fearful. But visualization is you visualize in a vivid way, very detailed. When I say very detailed, I'm talking like I got this vision, I'm walking it out. In my mind, I close my eyes and I visualize myself in the whole realm of it. The smell, what it feel like, what is it? If it's a crowd that's involved, what is the crowd giving me? Or what knowledge and wisdom am I gaining from this? What does it mean to figuring out the images in my mind, really bringing that vision to pass? That's why you say write the vision, make it plain, right? And really sit down and really visualize, what is God telling me to do with this? It's imagine yourself to achieving that success. Picture yourself in the achievement portion of the success. all the obstacles, picture the obstacles you may have had to overcome. Picture an experience, how I feel to overcome those. That's what visualization is. Because if I could see it, I can believe it, therefore I can achieve it. That's a true statement because it definitely works. So you want to utilize the power of visualization because it sets you in a realm of it so you could feel it and attach to it and touch it and agree with it. You touching and agreeing right at that moment. Now you want to set the third part of it. After that, you want to set small, achievable goals. So when you set these goals, you want to make sure I use the SMART goal method. You want to use that because it's important. It helps kind of build the momentum and maintain that motivation you need to make progress. And it's more measurable, actually. So SMART goals is a very good thing to use. You can look it up online and tell you the steps that you go through to create goals. Number 4 is accountability. This is a big one. And support. One of the scriptures that God gave me was in Proverbs where he talks about, I believe it was chapter 27, where he talked, 26, I think, where he reminded me of, like, as you build this house, you want to make sure each room is thought out properly, and also, process the valuables in it. But while you doing that, make sure you seek many advisors. That was the scripture he gave me for the vision, right? And so that accountability it refers to like obligation or willingness to accept responsibility for your actions, decisions, and outcomes. You want to make sure it's really being answerable to others, yourself, so you can achieve the goals and meet the expectations that you agreed upon. And so find you someone you can that'll hold you accountable for taking action and maintaining this new belief that you have. That's important because if we don't have that, it's hard to do that on our own, right? And so we want to make sure that we seek the support that we need. So that's why I tell people, seek a coach, mentor, accountability partner, whatever that think about what accountability mean for you and what will make you what will keep you on point, because everybody is different. So measure your level. What do you need for accountability? Some people can use themselves. Me, I need another person because I can justify things really easy. So another person really helps me kind of get over the hump. And so it helps me, and I need encouragement sometimes because I'm my own worst critic. These are things I know about myself, and I take that knowledge and I use it as power. And seeking support, so that's why I say seek support from a coach, mentor, somebody you value their opinion, or somebody you can partner with. That's important. That can give you a new perspective, but can really hold you accountable and call you out on your crap as well. This will help you significantly enhance your journey toward achieving your goals. You don't need nobody that's going to hero you out of your dysfunction, but you need somebody who's going to say, hey, let me give you the hard truth. You need somebody like that. That's what I need in my life, because I could be definitely something else. Number 5 is key to sustaining that change. So you making all these changes. You have things in place. How do you sustain that, right? I'm finding out consistency is key. Consistency in my actions, behavior, performance. That's building trust, that's building trust with others, but within myself. Consistency, I didn't realize how important that was, so I started doing the podcast. Showing up. I show up for my job, but that's easy because I get something out of it, right? I get paid. When I was working in corporate America, I show up because I get paid. But when you really show up for yourself because you being consistent because you want to help somebody, that's a whole different thing. I show up because I want to help. I show up and be consistent in the podcast, but I'm learning that the consistency is helping me more than anything. But it also is tracking my progress, as far as like when I come on, I'm starting to see myself develop. I'm starting to see the things I need to do, don't do, all of these things. I don't beat myself up too hard. But when you are dealing with sustaining the change, you want to make sure you track your progress. That's huge, because you want to make sure that you review what's happening while I'm doing this. What are the stats? Celebrate your wins. Stats are important because it teaches you how your progress is going, but it also teaches you those outliers where what's really happening, that what's happening over here that made this happen over there. This is how you grow. So don't give up. Stay in a posture of curiosity as you sustain this change. Stay open to growth. Seek advisors. It takes a team to be successful. You're going to make mistakes along the way, but that's how you grow. So don't worry about the mistakes. So that's kind of the steps. Those are the steps that I wanted to bring forth and talk to you guys about. Those are the steps I used in that area. I got another area I'm working on that I'm going to use these steps on, because I found another area I need to fix in my life. But anyway, you constantly evolving, right? But I am so grateful to the Lord that he has showed me this, because now I can apply it to other areas of my life. If you need help in this area, or somebody to walk you through the process and you find it hard, reach out to me, set up a 15-minute consult, and reach out to me and see how I can help. But I just want to say happy Monday. Thank you for listening to Mondays with Coach Rice. If you have enjoyed this episode, or you feel like it's beneficial for somebody to hear it, please subscribe. Please share. Please leave me a review on how these steps may have helped you. If you apply it to your life, I promise you it'll help. I kid you not, it helped me. And if you find some ways that you may see something where I tried this and this worked too, let me know. I'm always available for some ideas. And if you have any topics you want me to talk about that's important to you, reach out to me. Send me a DM me a topic. I would enjoy loving to supply you with things that you may need if I can. Until next time, take care of yourself and your relationships. This is Coach Rice signing out. Just want to let you know I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I love the support I get. I appreciate you guys very much. Have a happy Monday and enjoy your day.